It's 9 through 5 K-Days Morning Show with your boy Romeo. Like, this is the season to be jolly. This is the season of giving. And I've been honored over the last 6 weeks to hand out free turkeys, Christmas trees, give out gifts to kids. But right now, I got a young man that's hanging out with me up here in the studio. We're talking about Smile LA. This is a show that's coming to the Zeus Network, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Thomas, I want you to go ahead and break down what that's all about. First of all, I want to thank you because when I saw what you was doing, I was truly inspired and felt like it was necessary to have you here.
Thank you. Listen, so Smile LA, long story short, it's just shedding light on what we do every day.
Yeah.
You know, long story short, we're bringing folks from across the country who normally wouldn't have the opportunity to have smile makeovers.
Yeah.
And one, telling their story, but two, changing their story and adding a new chapter to their story. You know, I always say it's about the psychology behind a smile and not just the smile itself. And sometimes that smile is a reminder of what used to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can serve as a barrier of or prevent us from what's to come.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
And you know, a lot of times we don't have, whether it's the financial means, whether it's access to care, whether it's fear, but we just don't have what it takes to kind of get rid of that old smile and just move into that next chapter of our lives. And that's what Smile LA aims to do.
Yeah, and you know, and a smile goes a very long way, right? When it comes to confidence, your personality, just the way you move in general.
Exactly.
So it's so important. So let's kind of go back to the beginning. What made you want to decide to be a dentist and get into that game?
All right, so you know, my background, you know, born in Georgia, you know, was raised at first by a single mom, 4 kids by the time she was 21.
Yeah.
So just seeing that hustle and grind and that perseverance and dedication, it made me not want to be a product of my environment, but more so the pride of my environment, you know? So I did what it takes, coupled with my parents, my mom, and eventually my dad and my stepmom. I did what it took to make it out of my situation.
Right.
And I wanted other brothers and sisters, and especially those from underrepresented populations, to know that they can do the same, you know? So that took me on a journey of mentoring, and I fell in love with working with kids. So as I was working with kids, when you're in a lot of mentoring programs, there's a lot of red tape around it. You know, you can't be in the household, you can't be with them too much time, so on and so forth, and rightfully so. So then I started working with families. You know, I stepped away from formal mentoring and just started doing a lot of more one-on-one with families.
Yeah.
And I started looking at careers after I was accepted into Howard University. I started looking at careers that would allow me to work with families. At first, I wanted to be an OBGYN. As I got older and wiser, you know, my initial thought was I want to help God bring kids into the world and bring life into the world. But then also I realized I don't want to stab vaginas all day and go home to my wife.
Right.
I never want to be desensitized.
Right.
And so, you know, I started looking for internships in college, and I started scrubbing floors in the dental office, you know. And as I was doing that, you know, I was born in Georgia. My mentor was a Georgia boy. Just seeing that bedside manner, that Southern hospitality, and how he cared for us, and just learning about the statistics. There are 3.8% minorities in dentistry, and so just you know, just being encompassed by all of that, it's like, I think this is for me. You know, you go to your dentist at least 2 times a week. You know, he meets the mom, the dad, the auntie, the whole family, the kids, the side chick, the whole 9. You know, you really get to understand people's stories.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, this is my calling. This is my ministry. And I fell in love with dentistry, and the rest is history.
You know, Dr. Trevor Thomas hanging out with the K-Day Morning Show. I got to be honest. I let my teeth go bad over the years, so I understand there's steps and there's levels to this, right? But during my time, I never had a dentist that looked like me. So I'm inspired with the fact that you said how it was important for us to have someone that looks like us in there. It brings comfort as well, right?
Exactly.
What's some of the worst things you may have experienced? Because I know sometimes when people open their mouth, you got to be like, yo, how did we get to this point? Because I was there back in the day. I'm not even going to lie.
You know, at some point, you get desensitized to it. And when and the reason I say that is, you know, while I was at Howard and, you know, struggling to get this dental degree, you end up falling asleep in an anatomy lab with 50 dead bodies around you, you know? You know, because it's like, you know, I got to make it happen. I'm in study mode, so on and so forth. So when I'm in that mouth and I'm locked in, everything else goes out the window. I would say 1 out of every probably 500 smiles, somebody will open their mouth and I'll say, oh, shit, it smells like ass.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But most of them, you know, for the most part, I get through it.
You get
you
through,
know?
yeah.
You know, and if that's the situation, hold my breath and double mask, you know. But you make
do what
it
you
through
gotta
it.
do.
But at this point, but in all seriousness though, at this point, there really isn't too much that I haven't seen. You know, it's more so not the condition of the mouth, but it's the condition of bad dental work that surprises me. Like I've had cases come into my office and I kid you not, they literally have Home Depot screws in their mouth.
What?
You know, they went somewhere and got some garage dentistry or you know, and this is not to say all dentists in foreign countries are bad. They went to foreign countries and, you know, and a lot of the problems with this don't manifest immediately. You know, it's 2-3 years down the road where it's like, okay, I have some systemic condition and we don't know the root cause. And the root cause is what's going on in the mouth.
Right.
You know, since I've been at Howard and in my tenure as a dentist, you know, I've been studying a lot of the mouth-body connection and also the comorbidities tied to the bacteria in the mouth. And when you look at a lot of the disparities in our community, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attack, stroke, they're all directly tied to some of the bacteria in the mouth, you know. And the newest one for black men is erectile dysfunction. So go to your dentist, brother.
Yeah.
So it's just, those are the things that really wow me. Or when we recognize these patterns and we get the mouth in order, and somebody that looks like my big mama comes back and say, hey, my diabetes under control now. Hey, you prevented me from a heart attack, so on and so forth, you know.
Did not know there was a connection like that.
100% connection, not hypothesis, not we think it's a connection. We know it's a connection.
Well, first of all, I'm making me an appointment because you just got me a little nervous with the other stuff. So
Exactly.
I'm going to handle my business. So going to the dentist, how often should someone do? Let's go back to the basics. If
Okay,
you want
the
to
basics.
prevent situations, what should you normally do?
The
How many
basics.
times a day should you brush?
Brush and floss at minimum 2 times a day.
Got it? Okay.
Emphasis on and floss.
Okay,
All right?
yeah.
Brush and floss. Flossing is darn near, and I hesitate to say this because I never like to put one above the other, but flossing is darn near more important than brushing. And the psychology behind that, when things are trapped beneath your teeth, think of it like termites. They have the ability to kind of burrow down in between the gums. You know, whereas when we're brushing and we're hitting more of the surface levels or what you can see, you know, sometimes saliva will wipe that away, or, you know, chewing, all that type of stuff, so on and so forth. But when things are trapped in between the teeth, they stay there, they go down, 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 you know, cause gingivitis initially.
Yeah.
Gums get inflamed, make way for more bacteria. Then we start eating away at the bone. Now we got loose teeth. 70% of Americans have some form of periodontal disease, which is bone disease.
70%.
70%, 80% worldwide.
That's why you got to go to the dentist.
Got to go to the dentist.
Man.
So these statistics are staggering. Again, these are silent diseases. You know, these are silent. You don't walk around and say, my teeth are in pain from periodontal disease. You may say, hey, doc, why do my gums bleed every time I floss? You know, but again, even that doesn't hurt too much. The physical bleeding itself doesn't hurt too much. It's just the aggressiveness.
And sometimes if you don't have that pain all the time, you kind of just keep moving along while it's getting worse as you continue not to go. So here we are. You're now from Atlanta. Now you in L.A. Smile L.A. about to jump off on Zeus Network,
Yes,
which
sir.
is pretty dope. Celebrity dentist too? Like, how does all this come about?
God, bro. God. But honestly, it's just trying to stay hungry and humble.
Okay.
You know, when I first came out to L.A., like I said, I was over at Howard. I said a prayer, and I was like, God, where to next? And he said, California. And I had never been to Cali in my life. Never.
Okay.
Never been to Cali in my life. But I got up and went.
Yeah.
You know, started working out in Paris, California, about an hour and a half from here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, yep.
Put my head down. You know, Paris had a unique dichotomy of patients. You got everyone moving from L.A., you know, trying to get away from L.A., you know, more affordable, you know, getting up there in age, so trying to get more land, more bang for your buck. You got our brothers and sisters coming from across the border, you know, trying to stay low-key. You have a large Caucasian population who's looking for larger land, older, just want to be out the way.
Yep.
You have their younger kids, high drug population out there. So I got to see a lot in Paris. So, you know, I always told myself, I'm going to stay out here and ride out this middle of nowhere and basically train myself to be a Chick-fil-A. And what I mean by that is, if I would have went to like L.A., Beverly Hills, all that good stuff, I would have been a McDonald's next to a Burger King. You know, I can't compete with the other dentists in that area. I'm just another dental office. But if I get out here and make myself a Chick-fil-A, get my clinical skill down, learn how to treat every type of case, and then move into that, no matter if there are 30 restaurants around a Chick-fil-A, they still going to have a line.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so looking at my age, looking at my race, so on and so forth, you know, that's what I had to do before I moved into this aggressive LA market, you know? So I was starting in Paris. And as I was trying to make that clinical transition and the clinical skill was getting better, I'm just on literally Instagram every night, hitting up celebrities. Hey, give me a chance, you know? And I started with, like, you know, respectfully, the C and D list celebrities, you know, and let me work my way up, you know, because in all honesty, a lot of times they may be influencers, celebs, whatever, but they're not financially there. So it's like, okay, they have a need still, but they have an audience. So just starting there, literally all night, Instagram, getting more arthritis from Instagram than actually doing the dental work.
That part, for real.
Give me a chance. I went to Howard. I'm trained. I'm working hard. Blah blah blah, and just slowly working my way up. And I always said it wasn't my aim to be a celebrity dentist, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. My goal was to be a dentist that worked with celebrities so that it can further expand my platform and network to reach those who may not have seen me alone,
Yeah.
More folks will see me on Zeus's page or another celebrity's page than they will see me just being Dr. Trev.
Yeah.
And so now that's letting other folks that look like us, underrepresented minority populations, say, hey, there's somebody that looks like me who can do quality dental work. The same way you're going to go to a plastic surgeon that may look like the body type you want. Right. You're going to go to a barber who cuts like how you're going to want your hair, have your same texture hair. And so on, you're going to go to the nail tech that gives you the square or the pointy nails depending on your style. You want to align with someone who can match with your idea of not only health, but beauty and perfection also.
So you come to California because it was God's plan, and you had a mission that you played out. But now this makes sense because I'm on Instagram all day long. But when I came across your page, or when it came across about you being on Zeus and successful, she will tell you something made me say, I need him on my show. And that's when she reached out, HU, made that connection,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And hit right back, got him, we're gonna talk. Now I understand what made me stop, because I'm from St. Louis, and God told me to pack up, move to LA, and I never been here. And I listened. So you're giving a testimony on a whole different level right now that people don't know. Sometimes you gotta listen and know when to move when God says move. And then you just didn't come out here and sit. You out here and you hustled. You understood, I'm gonna start out here and make my way. Now you have, you in Studio City now?
Yeah.
Are you in Corona now?
Yeah, Studio City, Corona, Canoga Park.
Come on, man.
And got some more surprises coming. But
that is amazing. And you're on the Zeus Network. And I'll tell you, when we saw the trailer, we was just like, yo, we got to tap in with this, because one, is someone I can relate to. Two, you're a black dentist, which is powerful, which we need more of, and I know that. And what you're doing for the city of L.A.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm not from L.A., but L.A. has shown me so much love, bro.
Yeah.
L.A. shown me love. L.A.'s protected me. L.A.'s held it down. So like you said, I wasn't born here, but y'all my family. L.A.'s my family, and I'm always going to hold it down. They always say, a lot of folks say, like, oh, you leave your hood, you can't abandon your hood. It's a hood that looks like mine everywhere,
That part.
And LA is just a reflection of the hood that I didn't leave, but I stepped away from to become a better version of myself, so that I can not only give back to my hood, but I can give back to a global hood that looks like mine,
Yeah.
And so that's what LA has afforded me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Let them know how they can reach out to you. But before you do that, I'm going to give you this phrase, because me being from St. Louis, you being from Atlanta, my phrase on my page says, St. Louis raised me, but L.A. made me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We had our roots. We got our roots. And as we've grown, we moved to the city, and they've really embraced us. So now I know why you're here. Now I know the connection.
Yes, sir.
I'm a spiritual dude, man, and I'm so happy for you. And I'm just so, whatever you need, like I'm here in LA, we do community work all the time. We're giving back, whether it's in Skid Row, wherever.
I love it.
Let's link up. Let's do some things. But shout out to your shoulders jumping off on. Let them know what time they can watch it on Zeus Network.
Yo, Zeus Network dropping Sunday evening on Zeus Network. Check out Smile LA with Dr. Trev. Shout out to Zeus Network too. I'm gonna take a second to shout out to Zeus Network. They've answered people's calling of give us something more positive, give us something else to look at.
Yeah.
So all respect and all love to Zeus Network, the entire team there. They were amazing to work with. And I applaud them for taking that step of faith on me, because they could easily stay in their pocket and like, no, we're going to stick with what we know makes money and generates income.
Which is the conversation we had before you got it. We're like, what's different about this show? It's not the craziness. It's like it's entertaining, but yet it's real life.
Exactly. Yeah. So shout out to Zeus for telling our stories, and, sometimes we got to look in the mirror and be a better version of ourselves. And they're doing that. I'm doing that. We're all doing this together, bro. And thank you for giving me this platform, too.
Dr. Trev, just keep changing people's lives, man, with that smile every day.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So check me out on Instagram, guys. It's the quickest way to get me directly. I literally answer all of my DMs directly. Okay. So I tell everybody to tap in with me there, because I want to have a real conversation before you step into that office. You don't got to go through my manager and call the office and get booked out. Talk to me. Reach out to me. Let's get your smile right.
And one more time, how can they follow you on IG?
IG at Dr.Trev Thomas or Teeth by Trev. I'll see y'all soon.
Let's get it.
Let's see.